Hi guys, I'm back! Over the last couple of months, I've been working on some amazing projects. And to kick it off, I made an amazing birthday cake. It has a faultline, chocolate drip, and some colorful chocolate spheres. Let's get started. We're going to start by preheating our oven to 150 degrees Celsius. Get your butter and mix until light and fluffy. Then add your castor sugar and whisk again. Add your eggs and mix until all the ingredients are well combined. We then add our vanilla and our flour. And lastly, we add the milk. Prepare your baking pans by using baking spray and baking paper. I used a 6-inch pan and an 8-inch pan. Bake at 150 degrees Celsius for 30 to 35 minutes. Let's move on to the icing. We first get our butter and whisk until it is light and creamy. This will take around 5 minutes. And then we can add the icing sugar. I add half of the icing sugar, mix well, and then I add the rest. Then we add the vanilla and the milk. Now we're going to start to assemble the cake. We use a few scoops of our buttercream icing as the filling. Don't worry if it looks a little bit rough around the edges. We're going to use that extra buttercream icing as part of the crumb coat. Now you take the remaining buttercream icing and divide it into 3 small bowls and the rest in one big bowl. We color the buttercream icing purple, green, blue, and the big bowl we color pink. To create stripes in our fault line, we're going to use Glad Wrap or cling wrap and then spread the different colors of buttercream icing in lines. We're going to roll the icing in the cling wrap until it forms a little sausage and make sure that the sides are twisted. Then we place our buttercream sausage into our piping bag. Because this is a fault line cake, we do not have to worry to cover the whole cake with the stripes, we only cover the middle. Now we'll put this in the fridge to set. Let's decorate the top tier. I'm using my spatula to cover the cake with the bright pink icing, and then I use my cake scraper to smooth it all out. Now again, because this is a fault line, we're not going to cover the whole cake with the pink icing. We're only going to cover the top of the cake and then the top and bottom sides of the cake, leaving the middle open so that we can see the fault line effect. When stacking cakes, we have to make sure that the structure is nice and strong. So we use PVC pipes or plastic pipes and put them inside the cake. Don't worry, I made sure that they're clean. For this specific cake, I'm going to use 3 PVC pipes. Very important, make sure that the pipe is not too long. It should be leveled with your cake. Now for the tricky part, putting the top tier on the cake. Now we want to make sure that our cake looks nice and neat. So I'm going to add a little bit of extra buttercream icing and then smooth them out on the sides so that you do not see that gaping hole at the bottom. Now we're going to move on to one of my favorite parts, the ganache. We start with milk chocolate and then we add castor sugar, butter and cream. You melt the mixture in the microwave, but make sure that you keep stirring. You do not want to burn the chocolate. I like to smooth out the ganache with a spoon and then let the chocolate drip down on the sides of the cake. Next, we're going to paint the fault line gold. To do that, we can start by using water, clear alcohol, or what I use today is quick dry essence. And then we add the gold food coloring. And then we can move along the fault line and paint the edges gold. Okay you guys, we're almost done. Now we're going to start with our colorful chocolate spheres. We're going to start by melting our chocolate in the microwave. Then we add the pink food coloring. An extra tip, if your chocolate starts seizing up, you can add a little bit of oil or you can add a little bit of cocoa butter. This will help the mixture to smooth out. When you're happy with the consistency, you can start drizzling the chocolate across your mold. We melt some more chocolate and color it blue. Make sure that you scrape the top of the mold clean so that you will have perfect spheres. Leave at room temperature so that the chocolate can set. When your chocolate has set, you can melt white chocolate and then fill the molds. You don't have to fill the molds all the way since we're going to flip the molds and remove the excess chocolate. Leave at room temperature to set. And then when the chocolate is set, you can just pop them out of the molds. To create our spheres, we're going to place our semicircles on a hot pan, just enough for the sides to start melting. We'll put them together and then using our fingers, wipe the sides clean to make sure that it is nice and perfect. Now doesn't that look beautiful? Now to create different shapes with the spheres, I'm using melted chocolate to stick them together. Leave at room temperature to set. Okay you guys, we're at the final step. Get the shapes that you made from the sphere and place them on top of the cake. You can use a little bit of melted chocolate to help them stick. And there you guys have it, my amazing birthday cake. If you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button.